So hello everyone, welcome on the stream. We're back with Steam Tales, and as we said, we will stream on Fridays and Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Polish time. So I want to work further with these buttons and reactions on them. I didn't prepare it off stream. I think I have an idea what I want to do. I'm almost sure that I know what I want to do. But I had a lot of work with other projects. What is more, we're going to Krakow on Monday and Wednesday to Digital Dragons conference, and we have to show some pitches about, of course, Steam Tales and our other game that's called Cubic Dungeons, and we're very hardly working on a pitch right now. So yeah, another crazy week, and I wish it will be very, I would say. Oh, I don't know how to say. In Polish, we have strange word for it. Let me just open another window with translator. Because I thought when I was watching my last streams that I have a lot of small words words that I just missed or I don't know how to spell. I should just open on another monitor this translator to catch these words to express myself better, and I wish in a further time speak more fluently. Yeah. So coming back to what I said, it's productive. I don't think I meant productive. So I wish that this conference will be very, very eventful, and maybe something will come up with Steam Tales and Cubic Dungeons and further. Okay, so those buttons. Oh, let me just take a sip. I feel I'm very tired today. I think I've slept like 3-4 hours today. Oh, I left my blanket here. Let me just move it. I slept like 4 or 5 hours. No, it was more like 3-4. Yeah, 3-4 hours tonight. So of course, some energy drink has to come up. Hello, it's BlizzCon. Hello, BlizzCon. No X. Sorry. I remember. What's cooking? Good looking. Yeah, I have to finish those buttons, but I have an idea. BlizzCon. Okay, BlizzCon. BlizzCon. How I came with con at the end, I don't know. BlizzCon. Okay. So with those, yeah, I know it's not hard, but sometimes I have words that are difficult to speak, like on top of the mind. To be honest, I had to learn to speak on the streams, because when I'm doing something like those coding live, and I'm thinking mostly what to write next, talking is totally different. It's totally different than just talking. Yeah, of course it's pronouns, but pronouns has to come up from my mind. So usually those strange words are coming, but which I didn't meant to say. So make a wish. Hello, welcome. And yeah, I think on the first stream, when I meant dot, when I was writing code, a lot of the times I just used a Polish word for that kropka, and I didn't even realize until some Make-A-Wish point that I'm missing those words. So yeah, sometimes pronunciation can be challenging when doing something else, especially for me. I have some difficulties with talking. I don't know what is if it's the main reason, but I'm always laughing that when I'm talking, my lung is trying to is very stiff. It's like we have you have like like this cramp in a muscle, and my tongue likes to do something like that when I speak, and it's very very hard to relax and go with the flow. Yeah, I try to work on that, especially with those pauses when I use those ugly and it's terrible to work with that. But yeah, you had to bring up challenges to yourself and try some new things. We'll see how will it end with those streams in English, but yeah. That's great advice, Blixon. Thank you very much. I was doing that. I was practicing in front of mirror, but to be honest, at the moment of my life, it's so hard to find for me even 10-15 minutes to even go to the shop to just walk walk to just catch some fresh air. That it's difficult to find those few minutes to practice. But yeah, okay. What I want to do? Oh, I know. I was trying to do this strange correlation with settings, global settings, groups of buttons, and I have to come up with something that will be easy to use. So, with this approach, okay. Oh, that's a good idea to practice in a shower. But to be honest, when you talk about that, and I thought how I could do it, to my mind came up my girlfriend that loves to speak to herself, and it's very trippy when you are just sitting like it's 11-12 p.m. So it's dark, you are focused on something, you have some music in your headset, and you hear this very 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 quiet whispering, like, and usually I'm like that's moving my one of my I'm just exposing my ear and I'm listening, and it's just my girlfriend that is talking to herself to come up with some ideas to make her work better. But it's so creepy. I'm usually like, am I in some kind of horror? Is it something coming for me? Or what is it? Oh yeah, those beauty words like faint. I would love to use them more more often, but yeah, it's faint. Yeah, I will try to remember. To be honest, I had very long uh, break from talking in English. I think last before PAX in Boston, I had like 2 3 years of very occasionally speaking English, maybe even more. Yeah, it was like more like 4 5 years of break. I in an yeah, in school you don't speak English. I had my teacher that was very focused on talking a lot on lessons. So I was quite fluent in a day, but this break I feel like destroyed my ability to speak like my second language. And more I'm getting into this game development world as head of studio. So in those rather developers, more popular developers, I would say, it's very useful to know English like your language, like your try to be as close to native as possible, and you will get a lot. You will have much easier time to understand or go to conferences to listen to people talking about their games. But when I told that to my mind, came up this YouTuber Code Monkey. He is, I guess, Portuguese, and he speaks English. He has his own accent, but I love the way he speaks. You feel his accent. You feel that he it's not his native language, but he talks in a with such a manner that you feel is very fluent. It's very prepared. He knows what he wants to say. Oh, he's Hugo. I didn't even know. I know him from his YouTube name, but that's quite a good to know. I'm joking that he's always at YouTube's. Sorry, not YouTube's. Unity Unite event, and with Cubic Dungeons, I think it will be the best. It will be good opportunity to go to this conference, and I'm hoping to just meet him and just shake his hand, because for me, as a person who loves to share knowledge, he's one of the best person on the internet that come up with tutorials, and those tutorials are, for me, the best compromise between telling knowledge at a very basic level, so very easy, in a very easy way, but also showing good practices in code. It's very unusual seeing tutorials that are using those good clean code, but also shows knowledge in an easy way. Yeah, BlizzCon. It's of course sometimes accent decrease is of understanding what person says. Yeah, that's totally true. but he talks in such a good way. But yeah, I was even almost laughing when I saw his one of last videos where he answered to maybe not a drama, like some throwing throwing bad words at him. On Reddit, someone was like, "Oh, I was watching tutorial. Everyone said it that's good, and after 6 hours, I see some encapsulated int in them. So I see that it is bad." And he was like, "Dude, come on!" I love the way he responded in a 10 hours long movie, tutorial. He showed a lot of good quality code, and in a one place, I would show you in a moment what code I mean. It was like very clean code. It's not that there he could do something much better. I think he did what he can to show what he meant. Yeah, it's like this. When you are 7 hours into an actual high quality YouTube fields in a field that's hard to find genuinely good tutorials, and the guy pulled out 5 nested in statements in a row. And like I'm like, come on. And he showed this code. It's like going through recipes. To be honest, when if someone will come up to me with this code, I would say like, it's good. It's with if someone would give me this code to make code review or add me in a pull request, I will go just like, yeah. But to be honest, when you are looking at you are trying to deeper in this code, he showed that he could do it with less nesting, but now it's like 3 methods, just methods to avoid nesting. I like this principle that nesting is bad. I love this early exiting from methods. I love breaks, continues. Take me in, for example, like here, if inventory item is not null, just return. No nesting. But here, when he had to come up with very easy to understand way for people to dig in his code and understand how he did it, I would say that this nesting is not so bad. It has very it has purpose to show logic and be easy to understand, not to be the best code in your life. I think he told it a lot. But he has some strange disease with his eyes. So using black theme in his editors is very harmful for his site. So he has to use light theme. He told in a few places. To be honest, I don't like if there is only return. I'm usually using something like that. This if statement without brackets. But I've tried to use this method of writing. but for me it was more unclear what is happening in a code. I tried a lot of different namings and ways to write the code to find out the best for me. And I think in this moment of time, for me, I come up with something that is the best for me to read. I look at the code and I always know what I'm looking at. And I think it's the most important thing in your code, to have code that you can read, and you and your team, if you are working in a team. This is the most simple, the most important thing in a code. I hate when someone is coming to me and talking like, "Oh, those singletons are anti-pattern, you shouldn't use it. Here is dry principle broke because you use that, you could come up with the methods. Here you broke this principle of other thing that you shouldn't do something," and so on and so on. Okay, but let people write code that they like, and let people write a code that are clear for them. You don't have to push your idea how your code should be, and just give up. Just have some fun. Of course, when one thing with that, I sometimes, when I'm usually trying not to do it, but sometimes I like, for someone who is coming to me with asking for code, for help with code or some error, I'm trying to don't do it usually, but sometimes when I see very bad principles or very bad naming or violations of every principle like dry and so on, I always maybe try this, but this was only beginning to my whole point. I hate when someone is asking for advice, or I'm asking for advice, and no one gives advice for me or for something, and everyone is giving, "Oh, here you shouldn't write it like that. Here you should write code in this way." But dude, it's not my question. My question is, I had this error. Can you please help me with that? So this video that you sent, BlizzCon, I think I will move it to my one of opened window to watch later. But thank you very much for video. It's like visual perception of code. I think I will watch. Strongly disagree with a lot of points, as I like to do, but I love to see different people's approaches and points of view, especially when I have to do a lot of code reviews. At the moment I'm head of studio, so I have to manage people and work with others' codes. So it's very useful to know why someone is using that, to better understand their approach, and usually it helps you a lot when finding errors in code. Oh, to be honest, I love PHP. I wrote few programs in it, a few pages, I would say. but I don't have strong emotions towards this language. But I will of course watch it later mm, and analyze it. Yeah. Well, for teaching, hello. First thing first, hello, Mechatronics. Welcome, welcome. For teaching viewers, the font would have to be 3 times bigger, but if you think about the code yourself, it's okay. Yeah, but this is very hard to balance. I was teaching at camps, at like these vacation camps. I was teaching in some schools, and usually my biggest problem with coming with good size of letters of fonts is that when you are showing code, it's hard to make big font size to make it easy to read. But when you make it too big, you cannot show a lot of code. So usually when I would come up with something like that with big font size, I would have to remove a lot of spaces. So this code is very crushed to just fit on a screen. Because usually when it's not a film that is recorded, you cannot come back to it later or pause. You have to show as much as you can at what moment. So you will show some part of code, let students to just write it down, play with it, and go further. And more you show, it's harder to even show everything on the screen. What has to be shown. And yeah, it's very hard to come up with good font size. And always those funny guys that are coming. Oh, you're using light theme. You are not a programmer. And I'm like, dude, it's very it's sunny. I have low quality projector, and I have to use this white light theme to make you be able for you to be able to see anything on a board. It's done differently. If you have two connectors in the monitor, you connect one for yourself and the other clone for 300% and for stream. Oh, I know what you are coming to, Mechatronics, but this setup for now, I'm laughing that it's literally done with zip ties and silver tape, because my camera right now has rubber bands that is fixed around button around this button to make photos, to make it try to autofocus, because it makes it this workaround around this problem that after 20 minutes it turns off. You cannot go further than 20 minutes. So it's my workaround around this problem. And this camera, of course, overheat. So this is why it was 20 minutes timer. So there is PC fan that is glued to my light stand to make it cooler. And yeah, Mechatronic, I know, but I'm not touching this setup. I love this setup. It's great. And usually when I'm teaching somewhere, and I'm on a summer camp. It's very hard to just make it good for students, and you don't have a lot of don't have every needed accessory. Yeah. Hello, Mr. I would say Mr. Oh, oh no. Hello, Pandabura. I was like, okay, it's Pandabura, so it's like Mr. Dabura, and I don't know where my mind went in this moment. Hello, hello. We are streaming Fridays and Saturdays now in English, and on Mondays we have Polish Mondays. So yeah, this is our plan for now. I'm looking at my drink for today's streams, for today's stream, and I don't know who made it, but I bought like this syrup to mix with water to make it better for drink. I'm don't like water. I don't like taste of water, and they always throwing this joke and like water. I'm not a horse to drink a water. So we bought with my girlfriend this syrup, and it's so unimaginably sweet and intense. It's like to this cup, I pour like 10 milliliters, fill it up with water, and it was still very sweet, like on this edge when it's too sweet. Like, wow. Why? It's strange. But yeah. It's good, but it waits for... First things first, you have to take some energy. Okay, so I see there... Oh, I see that Philip is taking some shots of stream right now. So we were here with those buttons. I know where we were. So I was trying to come up with good way to connect everything, and I think I come up with good enough idea how to do it. Yeah, I love this this sentence. It's very usual. It's usually mixed. So work regulations. One, the boss is always right. Second, if the boss is wrong, see point one. I love how people are changing it in every possible way. So it's like wife, the wife is always right, the woman is always right, the mother is always right, and yeah, it's very funny. Usually, I love when it's like this very cringe plate to put somewhere, and I'm like, oh, if I bought it, will I turn 50 immediately? Yeah, it's coming with talking in English is totally different thing, and I have to practice it even more. And also in a Monday, I'm telling now when I remember. We will of course put it on a Discord too, but on a Monday there will be no stream because we are going to Krakow to Digital Dragons conference. We are showing Project Bridge as a part of Indie Zone, where there's those indie showcase for their cup. So we are going to this conference, And so next stream will be tomorrow, and after that it will be no stream up to Friday. Yeah. I was going with something like that. I think there is still potential to do it, but I think I will do it like that. So here I will just expose events for on select, on deselect, on pointer enter, and so on and so on. And add components is very costly. Is very costly. That is true. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows. It's not that everyone knows, but we look at it, and adding component from code on all of buttons, it will make very significant spike. And it's even like easy project like Project Bridge with very simple UI. There will be a lot things to add, so it's big no for us. And I think I will do something like that at the beginning. Those events, maybe no events, but it will be fields for interfaces. And if there is no attached interface to this mono behavior, it will just go with a flow and add its own self implementation of it. And I think I like it. So I don't remember if Michael asked me for those overrides to be different for every reaction. Okay, so what is plan? Let me open Paint. I don't want to have fun with my camera now. So I want to first create this default settings. It's like settings for every item in every button, everything in a game. It contains colors, fonts, and so on. Then every item can be in some kind of group. So it can be like group 1 for buttons in in a Project Bridge. It's great example. When you open escape menu, when you are in a menu during gameplay, you have this menu is in brownish, orangish colors. But when you open it inside Temple, it changes, totally changes. So we can go up with group for normal buttons, and we can have another group for another type of buttons. So there will be another group. So and this group at core is not is the same class, the same component as this default. Maybe not the same class, maybe the same interface, but generally the purpose is the same. And okay, you have groups, and after those groups, every button there is connected to group. So you can have 2 buttons, for example, in group 1. But I want to make this button, this button, let's call it 1 and this 2. I want this button 1 to change color when it's pressed, not to green, but to red. So I can add component. It's like change color override to override only this button. And I think this is the best approach without using a lot of adding mono behaviors, but basing mainly on events and interfaces. These get angry. I don't know what you meant with that. Blixon. Can button have many groups? No, because groups are. This is this thing is. This is thing we came up with in Project Bridge, but we don't make group serialized field. We make a group prefab. So if you want group that is slightly different, so for example, it has only one color changed over another group, you create only variant prefab with change only few properties of mono behavior. It's quite better for us, and I like this approach a lot. It's a shame that serialized fields doesn't support variants. I don't know if it's considered in a further Unity's development, but for now, these prefabs and variants, it's good enough for me. Angry Curse Red. Yeah, that's true. But I love to come up with strange colors. And strange colors will be at when developing cubic data. Oh, I'm like swimming away to these cubic dungeons because we started thinking about it once again, and we're trying to find some way to maybe start working on it more full time. Who knows what will happen? But yeah. Okay. I think I will just start doing it. I'm not sure if everything is prepared as they should be in my head. I think there is a lot of things that are not prepared I'm not sure, but I want to start doing it. It's my way. I always I always first start doing it, and when I'm doing it, I always find things that are not connected, and usually when it's a lot of untied ends, I'm just scrapping idea and starting from beginnings. But usually I find way to just go further and do as it should be. Show. This button on click at listener on clicked, of course, on this deselect it stays. And let me do it like that. So those are buttons. Okay. So I have button settings. Sure. Button settings override. Do I have a way to do it in some clear way to make sure that when I add new item here to those settings, I will be able to also automatically work with override further. Here I have those global settings, like text color, selected text color, deselected, okay, change sprite, select sprites, deselect sprite, okay. So those are settings. Groups can be done with that also. Yeah, it can be done with that. when I will add new setting here, groups will also use it, and changing in a default state, it will also update all children. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Do I want to? Yeah, no, it's good as it is, but can I? No, it will be simpler. So those things stay. I think those things are like it. See ya. I don't need it. I think I don't need those two, but I will leave it for now. And I want to make new folder called over reactions. Yeah, it will be one. It will be reactions, and one will be. It will be reactions, and one will be overrides. Okay. So those reactions are mainly ability to override default behavior. So for example, the default behavior for text is when it's default behavior for text is when color is when a button is hovered or pressed or just selected, so hovered or selected with arrow keys, it doesn't change. It doesn't change this. It doesn't change this color of text, but you should have ability to override this behavior. And can I do that? Let me start with this. Select so generally in a C#, unless you are not using unless you are using unsafe code, but usually you cannot use you are not using pointers. There's not no pointers in this whole language. So this general concept of pointers, but you can store this. So I can create like variable. But we're going very deeply. So I can do something like base button equals this. I can do that. It's good. You can leave it like that. But pointers is not. To be honest, I worked with C++. I worked in this old school manner like C++ 98. I worked with more modern standards, but if someone told me that I can choose only one of the language, C# or C++, I will go with C#. Head first, C#. It's quite easy. Of course, there are some cases where C++ will be much more faster and much more capable. So for those places, you can just write DLL code. We even used that in one of our games when we were working with terrain, like Minecraft terrain with generated mesh. We moved this whole mesh generation code to DLL library, and it was maybe not much faster, but it was faster. If you will meet someone who is writing in Rust or Carbon, he will strongly disagree and he will be very sad. Here someone should put this meme. If they could read, they will be very sad, or something like that. But yeah, some languages can go near C++ speed, especially this. I see what Rust can do. I saw what Rust can do, and it's very capable. But to be honest, on a daily basis and in most purposes, C++ is very, very uncatchable in performance-wise. But writing code in this language is painful. You have to agree that it can be very painful. Okay, so I want this, for example, button select. Maybe no. Maybe let's go with That's hard because I think, yeah, pros and cons. Of course, there's pros and cons. I don't know if I want to spread behavior mainly on reaction, for example, on select, on deselect, on pointer, enter, exit, or do I want to spread behavior based on functionality? So, for example, button image behavior, text behavior, icon behavior, sound behavior. And I think I can go with this. I can do that. So I can go with default text behavior. And why did I create another directory? I want to create class. It will be default text behavior. Okay. And can I do something strange? Let's add like changeable color behavior. Okay. And make this inherit. Oh, 2 typos. Sorry, I'm not good at writing English for now. Not as good as I wish I would be. Let me make this inherit from default text behavior. And can I, this is very important question, can I make here some kind of property that will be type related? Can I or can't I? So generally, when I'm using fact, I have to open my old code to check something. I have Angry Planet here. Yeah, new window. So I remember I created something called factory. I'm not so fluent with this whole concept, so I have to just look again at code to refresh my knowledge about it. I want to do something stupid. I know that, but I love it. Yeah, factory base. So generally, it's like type, okay. It registers items and it creates instance. So for example, I create instance of building by building type. Okay. Okay, so it's building type here. It's enum. Wait, it's enum. Oh, because I had this dictionary type to enum. So here I have to pass create instance with type. Okay, so can I? And will it work? What will happen when I will just write type here? Let's name it test. Of course, get private set. And check in Unity what will happen. I'm not sure if it can work, but life will be very sad without experimenting. So let me just reset this position and add button settings. No, nothing shows up. So can I in Unity serialize type? Okay, let's dig maybe. Okay, so I can use string representation of type. Oh, it can be used here. So what I want to do, I want to in some way tell why I'm screaming like that. I'm like, why? I heard echo of my voice throughout the room, and I'm like, why am screaming? So I want in some way to here change this behavior. So I want to make this behavior, and on the start, based on what is set in this settings, I want to be able to do that. Anyway, builder type is serialized in object field. Okay. Something is strange with it. I see like those juice particles, and I don't know if it should happen. But now, like I'm thinking about it, I think I will go with this approach with factory base, and I will make factory for every type, with key being. But if I will use enum, can someone will add something to enum? Today? if I will make, can I make enum in multiple files? There is some something to do that. It's in C sharp. Enum in multiple files, maybe. Can I? What was this keyword to make it C sharp? What was it? In C sharp. I know that I could write one class in a different files. So now if I will use enum here, I will have to make anyone partial. Oh, okay, thank you very much. So the partial modifier can only appear immediately before class, record, struct, interface, or method return type. So I cannot use that. But what is my here? What is my problem here? Yeah, if I will use enum when someone will want to add his own type, his own behavior to those buttons, he will have to add it in a main library, in main UI. But I don't think I want that. So, because for some games there is very, I mean, not limited, but very strict, very strange, very variables, and sometimes you want to even from this button get access to some game specific part. So with enum, I won't be able to add this from this game code without adding it to this main library. So it will make more games not work. So I think I will use strings with additional checkings. Now, additional checkings I will leave to Michael. He will do that. But please give me 1 minute. I will be right back in just a minute. Sorry, I had to go to the toilet very quickly. And I'm back. Sorry for your wait. So I think I will stick with this approach with strings. I like it more. So let's go with that. I think I will use this code, this factory base. Yeah, I will use that in my code. Will it be painful to use? Oh, it will be painful. Mostly because of this. I have this in different assemblies. Oh, I didn't thought about that. Maybe let me check it like that. C# factory pattern. Let me maybe read something more about it to check if it's made in a good way. So here I have creators. Okay, factory methods. So I have creator, yeah. Okay, it's like abstract class. Okay. I have creator 1, creator 2. Okay, operation. So here how they are doing. So they are going with client.mine, client code. Where is this method? Yes, here. So here I pass creator. That will be oh, that's so it's like, but wait, I have this factory method. No, it's nothing like it's not. It's nothing that I wanted to use. I don't think this is a good enough approach. I think I can do it better, maybe. But wait, how fast it will be, or how maybe it's not a good question to ask. How slow will it be? Let me say that. So here I'm going through every type that is in assembly, and I'm firing those, and I'm looking for those methods with static, public or non-public, with this attribute. So here it registers itself. Do I have better? So maybe let's search like the C# factory with string key. Will it show something useful? So how they tell? Okay, there is factory, but I want. Do I want to make this automatic? So like. Okay, I will stick with that here. It shouldn't be very painful, I guess. But we will see. If it will be painful, we will come with something. So let me copy that and add this to our libraries. So here in our neck-utils, I will go with, yeah, here. Maybe create interface class. Name it key-based factory. Okay. Let's add it. And let's just paste this code. So it's this thing will stay here. So it has two types in it. Okay, so let's just implement all methods. Here is dictionary. It's not a good idea, I know. I have to change it. So I have here get a which assembly I have to use assemblies. Oh, here I can pass some. What exactly does get assembly method do? With type, what is this type? So, oh, so this gives assembly that current type is hidden. I think I will do it like that. First, I will go through assembly. I will start with get executing assembly. So this will give me this assembly where it's fired from. So for example, here it should scan my steamtails assembly, if I get it correctly. Let's check it to be sure. Why there is so much windows? Why? What did I did? So leave it here. Yeah. So it's this assembly. Okay. And here, if okay, of course, naming should be better. Let's remove all warnings and every green line. So this, let's go with attribute public API to make it sure that this is something that will be overridden. This data, why it's underline? It should be, but it's protected. It should be data. Here I can use, of course, var. Here I can use this, and here I will leave it with 4. Okay, array empty. Okay, sure. Here I can use, of course, it's not initialized. Oh, right. No, it's initialized here in. No, this just trying to change it. It's here initialized here in constructor. Wait, that's stupid. How was that even working here? Who was inheritor? So I had like those 2 registries, and I guess, oh, I created those new registries and just fire registry. Okay. So let's do it like that. Okay, with fire registration. So it will do, yeah, it will. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want it from here, because I want to make sure that everything is prepared, everything is created as should be. No, I can't do it from here. Come on. So private. Of course, fire registration. So let me get other. Let's name it other, and it will be assembly of this T2 type, because this T2 is main class of, I would say, it's base type from it's type where everything is inheriting from. Okay, so back to the code. So here I want to get a type. So here I want to make type of course, get assembly type of T2. Can't you use type of? To be honest, can I? T2 dot I can use that. So if assembly is equal to type of T2 dot assembly, so if those assembly are the same, I want just return. Let me change it to private static void can assembly, and here I want to pass assembly. So let's move this whole code inside to, of course, make usage of dry principle. So scan assembly. Okay, and here, if those assemblies were the same, just go further. If no, let's scan assembly one more with type of t2.assembly. I think it's not perfect. Yeah, it's very not perfect. But it will work in most cases. In our project, there's not a lot of assemblies. And if someone wanted to add additional scanning, he could just override from this and add what he needs. So yeah, let's leave it like that. Here I have factory registration, of course. Okay, so what the hell have I done? So now I can go here to UI. No, it's wrong assembly. It's here, Unity UI. I want to go to UI. I want to go to, is it window? No. Whoa, I see that Twitch is doing something strange. Second time, it tells me that welcome in a chat. Like it disconnected me for a brief moment. That's strange behavior. I hope there's no drops or something like that. Oh, where are my statistics? Here they are. So, no, I didn't even lost frames. Yeah, it's very static. Okay. So, back to our code. Maybe let's change it from get entry assemb. No, it's. How can I get main code assembly? But when I don't know, but when I use JetBrains IDEs and use its shortcuts, I feel like typing in Vim. It's hard to tell for me because I never used Vim, to be honest. I'm more. It was Cat. I think it was Cat editor. Linux. No, it's not Cat. Nano, yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. I'm rather Nano user than Vim. I never wrote in Vim. First IDE that I used was Turbo Pascal IDE. Then I switched to code blocks, and from there I went straight to Visual Studio. And here I am in Rider as someone who wasn't biggest fan of Rider and JetBrains IDs. Vim is focused on typing speed, but learning curve is hard. Learning curve is high. Yeah, I have to strongly agree with you. I've heard that learning curve is very high. I've heard that. It was like those typical. What is better? I'm always like, if you want to write code and you don't want to fight a lot with your tools, just use Rider or like JetBrains IDEs or use Visual Studio. And someone was like, but in Vim you can get everything like you want. And like, okay, but how? So we have to install that. So I'm asking, okay, so if you want to start coding, how much time do you have to spend on your computer doing something to start writing code? And he's like, half an hour to an hour of setting up everything. And like, oh god, I'm like pressing one button, going to make some coffee or something to drink, coming back to my computer, and everything is done. Everything is set up, and I can just start writing code. But as someone who up to like half a year ago wasn't using arrows almost at all to write code, so those like alt with jumping through methods, I'm not familiar with them, and I'm still learning those shortcuts. Vim was totally overkill. And what is maybe not strange, but what came up to me when I was digging through those through licensing for Studio. When you have Studio with people on board with budget, you have of course to buy a license of Visual Studio or Rider. And when you start looking deeper, it's cheaper to buy Rider and other JetBrains tools than Visual Studio usually. So for me, it was like, okay, so now I see that it's much cheaper to use JetBrains tools, but now I can use for free Visual Studio, or I can start learning JetBrains to be prepared for the switch. And I started with educational license, but I wanted to write my code for any games, and just bought this license. It's not so, to be honest, when you count how much count how much time you can save, it's very cheap. It's like 2K a year with lifetime licensing, so it's great. I think this is one of the best licenses that can be for this kind of type of software. So if I buy JetBrains tools for a year, the version of JetBrains tools that were at the start of this year will be I will have access to them to I think it's lifetime event. So even if I will stop paying, I still have access to this version that I bought license. Of course, if I want some upgrades, I want support, I want bug fixes, I want more features, I have to pay more for every year. But this licensing is great. I know that there is this PDF, but before learn, I have to learn operation with Shift, Control, Alt, and arrow keys to be very familiar with them, to make them like fluent, like feel it like normal thing. Then I will dig deeper in shortcuts. I learned some shortcuts in Visual Studio, especially for jumping around the code, like get all references. I'm still running those shortcuts here because I switched to JetBrains typical shortcuts. Still running them, but yeah, those are those are shortcuts that I am very familiar with. JetBrains IDEs makes you more money than you spend on it. If you count this spend time on debugging, or for example this clearing features of Rider, I would say that is true, because if you can tell that time is money, and usually when you working for someone in a game dev studio, when you have task and you will finish all tasks, you can just go home or have free time. So with Rider, for example, very strict and very good additions to clear your code, to find typos, to enforce code style, to enforce naming. It can save you a lot of time, especially when you do something. When you create something on a branch, you make pull request for someone, and in a Visual Studio it was painful. When I created pull request, I switched branch, I started working on something else, I sank into another code, and someone made this code review of for me, and it's like, okay, here is typo, here is naming, you have to switch branch, go through that. Rider saves you like an hour, even a day. You can get parents assembly of assembly by assembly that get typed at assembly, if it's help. I think it will help with my approach. Yeah, I think it will help with my approach. Thank you very much. No, it's not so easy, because it can be fired from different places. So let's make it here. Okay, it's key-based factory. Okay. Looks like you got some warning in branch. You mean those warning, or where? On top left. Oh. Oh, yeah. What is wrong with? What's your problem? It repaired itself. I think I know what's wrong. I think it has to be something with those submodules. To be honest, I hate there's approach to handling submodules, because for us we work on submodules, and if I can show you, like, this submodule has a lot of branches, it evolves, and Rider this git build in Rider doesn't have any visual representation or even easy option to switch branches or switch commit of this submodule. It's very painful. So even if I wanted to drop how was it? Source 3 as my main client, git client, I cannot, because of this submodules behavior. Even I think there's even something in on their forum with question if they will even add it, and they said that for them it's no need for that, it has low priority, so no. It's Nick, of one of our devs. You can see on the Discord, everyone So everyone has it's his nickname. But to be honest, most those nicknames, those logins were created far very in a very old times. I remember when I was creating my nickname. It was like 12 years ago, even more like 15, I think. I was aspiring YouTube star. I wanted to record my Minecraft gameplay on some Minecraft mod packs. I think I recorded one film. Yeah, I recorded one film, but frame rate was very low. Quality wasn't so good even at this time, and like, no, I'm not pushing it further, but yeah, it was recorded, but never pushed on YouTube. And yeah, it was the time when I created that. I have one more nickname, or maybe rather nick, login on some accounts from even all from time when I was even younger, and it was very strange. Yeah, I came up with that for some online game. I even remember the situation. I was like 9 years old or 8, but I remember how I was sitting in room at my mom's friend's house. So they were like sitting and drinking some tea and so on, and I was like sitting on their PC. It wasn't not even mine PC, and I had to create a nick for some online game, and I was like, what name can I use? What would be the best name? I came up with name Hubertinho. My little brain was like, okay, there is this famous football player Ronaldinho, so let's make fun with it, and this is how I came with Hubertinho. What is funny is in this story, I'm not fan of football. I never loved football. I played for some time, but I was never passionate about it. I don't like watching some games on the TV. I sometimes play FIFA. That's all. I'm not even a fan of football, and this was my first nickname login. Yeah, I don't know how I came to that, but it was strange. And to this day, my heart is broken because this main account on email, this main email account with this name, I forgot password to it. Like some time ago, I forgot the password to it. I've tried everything, but with no luck. I even tried to recover this password, but my account is so old that this email provider only lets me get it with my this security question. But there's a little problem. This security question, I think I know the answer for this. Because it was some some language fun with Roman numbers, but it also needs to it also asks me to add my birth date, but I'm sure that I give fake birthday because I was like 8 years old, so at this moment I wasn't 18 years old, so I had to come up with something to make it to let me make this email account, and I don't remember the date I set there, so I cannot access my account. A lot of, I think I received most of my accounts. I moved to my main email right now, but I think Ubisoft account is still attached to this old mail, and I think I have no option to receive it. Oh, I think I have an option. I would have to find my old box games with the city key, and I think I will have option to gain access to them with support help. I remember I changed my password to my Skype and forgot it. Oh yeah, I was even more stupid. Nowadays, you know, Facebook is your main account. So for me, Messenger is place to go when I want to message someone, and when I'm so everyone is on the Messenger on Facebook. So I'm using this naming as one, because no matter when you log into Facebook or Messenger, it's the same account, to be honest. For me it's the same. So I wanted to make good use of password manager, so I downloaded LastPass, I created my account, and I started to changing my my passwords. So I've changed everywhere, and I thought I added all passwords to this password manager, but I think I used it was one of the first passwords, so I was still learning this plugin, how it works, and I didn't add my Facebook account to there. I don't know, maybe 1-2 weeks later, I changed my PC, or I was reinstalling just operating system, but I had clear Windows on my PC. So I'm of course I'm very happy. I'm logging to Facebook. Oh, password manager asks me password, so okay. Password is wrong. It was changed 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, oh no. I've tried everywhere. But of course I'm never writing password to web browser. So I'm like, okay, I've changed passwords to random characters. Okay, great. So I have to somehow regain access to it, and I have password but wrong. I'm pressing this button. Remember password. Forgot password. So I click it. I get pop-up. You cannot regain password from this computer because you were never logging on this computer with your. Oh, it's one thing about this story. What is important? This account was added to my old email account. Was still on my old email account. So I didn't have access to email. I didn't have passwords. And when I tried to do something, it shows that you were never logging from this PC. So no, we can help you. Like, oh no. I lost my account. I was almost give up, and something touched me, and I remember that I have TeamViewer still running in my work PC. So I quickly log into my work PC, and there I see I am still logged in to my Facebook account, and so I had to play with this high risk, high reward fun. So I can log out there from my Facebook account and try to regain password from there, or I can create just new accounts and or maybe leave it there logged in. So maybe when I will come up with something new, I will be able to do something. Because of course, changing password, just changing email required me to add password. At the end, I just log out, asked for new password. I think I had to send my ID for them, and then they moved my account to my new email, and of course reset my password. But it was a very stressful situation. Yeah. What is important? Always remember your password and never leave account on old email. Yeah, it's very painful. So, what I want to do. Okay, let me do it like that. Let me scan my assembly. Okay. And try to scan parents assembly. Just this. So scan assembly. Of course, if type of T2 that assembly that oh hello Nickelodeon, welcome. How so make a wish you write it. So assembly that get I would get a cardiac arrest on if I were in your situation. I was very close to cardiac arrest. But somehow I came up with good output, with good idea how to resolve it. So this get type so if this is not equal to null, can it equal null? Wait. So make a wish. So you wrote that if I get assembly, that get type that assembly, it will give me parent assembly of assembly. But what if there is no parent assembly? How can I check for that? I'm sure that, of course, this get type will give me some, or maybe get type will, but assembly it cannot be null. Oh, so it gives this assembly if it's not, if not parent. Okay, so with this assembly is not null, this attribute C# attribute it cannot be. Okay, so let me just like is not equal to type of t2.assembly, or maybe like that. Then of course return if those are the same, and if they are not, just scan it like that. Okay, so we can go back to this fun. Okay, reactions. Do I want to make one single parent class? That will be behavior or button behavior, and then how would I store them? I would have 4 fields. Is it a good option to have 4 fields like text, behavior? I can expose easily methods. I exposed of course not methods, events or something like that. Okay. So then if I wanted to register something, thanks to that I will have only one registry. Yeah, this is I will go with one single abstract class and go from there. So let's create Oh, I can go do it even better. Let's make button elements behavior. Okay. Let's make this abstract, of course. And this abstract class have to implement it has to implement all those methods. So with base button, I want to use on select, on deselect, on pointer enter, on pointer exit, and on clicked. Yeah, I want to expose all of it. Where is it? Where is it? Of course, import. Oh, maybe let's make them virtual. Yeah, it will be better with virtual. So public virtual void on clicked, and brackets. How can I? Oh, I want it like that. I don't want those multiple line brackets. I can do it like that. Let me just clear this code and just copy and paste. Maybe no spaces in it. Yeah, no spaces in it. Okay. So now what I can do, I can go with remove that with simple class. For example, color text. No. I want to go with change text color behavior. Okay. So now I can just inherit after button element behavior And here I can go deeper. So for example, I can overwrite on selected. I think yeah, there's one thing I have to do is like another layer of abstraction on that, because for now there is one problem. This was maybe not a problem, but I remember that it was quite painful when I was working with that. So I have select, deselect, pointer, enter, pointer, exit. So I have to, in some way, connect this selection and pointer entering behavior on things to make it work better. Because, for example, when I have pointer exit enter, I move mouse over the button is hovered, so it's somehow selected. Usually there is some overline, or maybe some text change, but in every moment I can use gamepad to use this selection. Typically it's the same reaction, like this pointer enter. So this, for example, glowing up and changing text color should be this button that it was hovered with mouse should be the one that I'm now selecting and I'm moving up and down. I think I mixed it up a little, but I think I wish you understand what I'm going to do with that. So here, those should be just logic. Maybe not logic. No, that's a bad word. Those should only focus on receiving those events and sending it further. Do they? Do I even want to stay with this default Unity selection system? I think I have to work more with that, because now, of course, every button. Let me show you. Someone is smoking cigarettes. I feel the smell. So here there's something called navigation, and it's used to help you with selection. So if you select up, down, left, right on a gamepad or on a keyboard, you go further up, further down, or with your mouse. But it's quite painful. Or no, I wouldn't say it's painful. It's quite good. It's good system. I liked it a lot, but it has problems when it's up to connecting this switchable behavior between mouse and gamepad. So if you want to use mouse and quickly switch to keyboard, to arrows, it can provide some problems, especially when this automatic horizontal vertical behavior is not good enough. If you want to use explicit, it can be painful to do it by hand. I can show you example of that here in Project Bridge, and if you don't have Project Bridge on a wish list, you can add it anytime. Let me just okay. Oh, there's this. So never mind. So this is old approach, and I want to change it. So, for example, here, if I wanted to make this buttons to on pressing left go to, for example, this Discord logo, let me use arrows too. Okay, the first button is selected. So with arrows I select buttons. So if I wanted here to go to the left, go to this. Oh, it wasn't very visible. To the Discord button, like now. It was very painful. I just started did it from scratch. Everything here is explicit connections, and I don't like it. I think I can do it better, especially with my Windows with my Windows that I came up with, and I think I can do better. But it means that I should in some way create my own event system, which I don't like. Thank you for your feedback. I see that there are two kinds of people that maybe love voxel art and love this very detailed voxel art, and there are persons that just love it simple. Let me show you. So, for example, our first characters, like this tag and so on, they were very blocky, with no much detail. But I think I prefer much more this more detailed style, especially when you see. Oh, there's a little bug with sound at the moment. Why not join Bow of the Worlds and do like a switch? Okay, because it means you have to make two games, to be honest. You have to make one game with simple graphics, with simple VFX, with simple shaders, and then you have to make same amount of graphics from scratch with more detailed and more complex visible attributes. It's basically making two games. So yeah, too much work for too less. Too much work for too less. Profit. Yeah. I will show you something. And I want to hear. Do I have it here? Do I? Yeah, that is true. That was we learned in a very painful way when we started working on Project Bridge, because Nikelion here was started doing graphics, and he was doing it in a very easy, very blocky way, very simple graphics, and I was doing this more detailed, and it didn't fit. So you have to have artists for one style, have artists from another style, and this is doubles costs. I think I have somewhere here like old screenshot. Yeah, thank you very much for that. Is it? Yeah, it's that. This is Prague Bridge. From it's from May of 2021. So like it's like 2 years ago. It was one of the first builds. Yeah, it was like that. And whole level, whole world was created from, as you can see here at the end. You can see this rectangle. Whole world was made with only one colored blocks. Yeah, this is painful to watch. But I want to ask you, Blixon, what do you think, as someone who prefers much simpler graphics? What do you think about this style, this game, like this simple graphics from game? Those are characters, some terrain. Like maybe more dark areas. Okay. That's saying that it's like turn down style. To be honest, I like it. Like this correlation. I've heard someone told me once that this game looked like Minecraft, and I'm like, wait, where does it look like Minecraft? Yeah, but this is style we aim for. This detailed voxel art with our 3D artist Jos. He's great in this detailed work, and I think I love it. Yeah, I'm falling in love in this game once again, to be honest. It makes it more detailed by each voxel representing one. But in Parade Bridge and here, every voxel was one color only. There's no mixing colors on voxels, especially with tool that we are using for that. This Magica voxel. It's great tool, this Magica voxel, but it doesn't have capabilities to make bigger games. It's great to create art inside of there, to create some dioramas, but if you want to export them to Unity or something like that, it's so painful. To be those whole naming of objects in files, it's so awful that if we will be starting working on, yeah, Mesh is so messy too, but we decided that when we will start working on this Cubic Dungeons game, because this is now pre-production state, we had this whole idea, we saddled on some gameplay, we saddled on style. Now we're looking for some opportunity on that. But when we'll start working on that, first thing will be creating tool for working with voxel art that is capable, like Blender, to work with multiple files, with good exports, with cleaner mesh, maybe with textures, not with this strange material that is unusable. Maybe not unusable, but it has some downsides with it. Okay. I know that you have a prototype of this tool. You have prototype of almost everything that we are talking. But yeah, creating UI, it's will be, I would say, is a task. The most important task and most important thing that Magica is not great is exporting files and naming them, naming some submeshes in files, and of course good working with and of course sorry, my mind just turned off in a moment what I was talking about. And of course working good this workspace environment, because Magica doesn't have doesn't remember last folder you opened, doesn't remember your palettes. It's very I would say it just works. Do I want to say something controversial? Okay, let's have some fun. So for me, Magica, compared to working in Magica, compared to working in Blender, is like working in Godot versus working in Unity. Both can do games, both can do art, but one is very usable, very easy to use, works with everything, works as fine and works as should, and other one you have to fight with it to make something good and usable. And here I'm ready for Godot fanboys assassins that will find me, and I won't wake up. So if anyone, if this is our last stream, it was pleasure to meet you. GIMP and Photoshop, yeah. But to be honest, I would. It's valid point, but I think this gap between GIMP and Photoshop only shows when you are professional. When you just want to adjust some colors, to cut something off, or quickly create some graphics, GIMP is usable. It doesn't have. It's not so. You don't have to fight with GIMP to do something. But with Magica Voxel and Godot, I feel like I have to fight with it to make it work. And I don't like it. I want to make tools and use tools that are tools, are not another barricade on way to finish something, to create something. I wanted to make it easier. I don't want to fight with it. And this is why I'm using Windows. For example, I'm not using Linux because I'm feeling like using Linux and this much of the terminal to this point. It's very hard. It's very hard to use it. You have to know a lot of things. You have to know a lot of commands for terminal to make it work properly. And for me, yeah, it's not worth it. So I'm using Windows because it makes my life easier, not harder. What is... Come on, what is this pinging like crazy? Why every... Come on! Don't write to me, I'm streaming. Okay, nothing. Docker users should use Linux. I'm not telling that Linux is a bad system. My server that we are currently using for Git client is of course based on Linux. We are using of course Docker. So for those things, it's great. For workstations that have to work in background very in a very stable way, in a very stable manner, with no downtime and so on. Yeah, it's great. But to set up it to this point, you have to put a lot of effort. But with Windows, on a daily basis, Windows is my way to go, because on a Windows, things are just happening. I'm just clicking and it's working. Wait, what? What? Except for line endings, of course. Oh, why Docker users should use Linux? I feel that you just make Michael ready to fight about it. So, Blixon, come on, I want to see more of that. Wait. Easiest way to show the reason is to try and develop Symfony app. Oh, so it's not my topic. I'm just a simple Unity developer with sometimes C++ capabilities to write some servers. I did it. I wrote once multiplayer server in C++. Yeah. But somehow running web app in Docker from WSL2 is faster than running it in WSL2? What? Really? I didn't even know that. I think I come up with something interesting in this system. Let me just quickly write it. This proof of concept. So on pointer exit, enter, I want to do something like events. For now, of course, it will be handled outside of here. Event system that oh no, I can't do it like, or can I can no, everything is fine, everything is fine. Let me set selected game object with myself. So on pointer exit, if event system that current that select current selected game object is myself, let me just make it null to make it nothing. Okay, so it has probably something to do with extremely slow IO in file system shared with Windows. Okay, that's good to know. So backing to my game, let me check it out. Let's create quickly create this UI canvas. Just leave it like that. Event system, of course, change to new input system. Only new input system. Let's create button. Okay, here it is. Let me add component that is base button. Those are not important things. And here, let me do it like that. Oh, let's make it empty. Of course, spread it across and add maybe vertical layout group. And move all of those buttons as it's as child of this game button. Okay, so let's make it middle center. It will be good enough. So will it work even properly? Okay, all were deselected. Okay, so for now, to make it clear, let me do not ever do it like that. Of course, you should cache like image or anything you want to access, but for only test purposes, I'm doing it like that. So let's make green, and on deselect, let's make this color white. Yeah, great. Did I, in this moment, resolve my whole problem with this UI system? Why I even started working on that? Yeah, it shows color. I think if you even write it in a hash code, it should show you color. I think it states from those web IDEs. They have similar code base or even the same code base. So I think we get them from those web development IDEs. Okay. Oh, I've just did it. I did it. Whole problem with this solved in easiest way. Why did even I came up with this in the first place? Why I bothered with whole in Parade Bridge? I make this pointer enter exit whole logic of changing colors and so on. I'm not changing selected game object. Or wait, or do I? No. Or yes, or no. Let me. Yeah, of course I've done the whole logic here. Where was my brain when I was writing that? Come on. It was so simple. So now I can stay with this with Unity's default system, and only in places that it's not working as expected. I can I let can I get why it's not overlapping with each other? So what's its why it's what is trying to oh, this button. Oh, sure. Yeah. So now those buttons work, and this button, when select down, why it's not go? Oh, why can I do it like in a loop easily? I thought it was the way, but I think I will have to switch to this explicit, or maybe just add something on top of that. Yeah, I can make some workaround to make all of them explicit with my additionals, my additional works around that. But yeah. So now if I will move mouse, but how do I do that? Because now I'm switching like that. Okay, so my cursor should just disappear. That is right. It should disappear. But how to do it properly when I move it? On pointer enter. I can do it. I think I can do it in some way. In some. Yeah, I think I can do it. I can just in my. So what is my plan? So now with this, I can add to my UI manager. I can just add logic. So when I used those navigation keys, I can hide my mouse button. So my mouse cursor. And when I move mouse, I can just run some raycast or just use. I can use event systems game object that is currently under mouse button and start to do it. It was so easy. Oh, okay, so Make-A-Wish, thank you very much for sticking for so long. Have a nice evening, and I hope see you tomorrow. I'm looking at that. I can see that it's very useful. And it will save me a lot of problems. But I feel pain because this is made out to work around. This is fixed for project's breach problem with the selection. But this means that I have to take write this to the end, finish it, take whole UI that was wrote. Generally, it's almost the same UI, but the same components. This base buttons here. No, not here. Here, those base buttons here are basically extension, like evolution from project with UI. But I will have to work a lot with those prefabs. Yeah, it's good. I would didn't say it's rewrite. It will be more like having fun with Unity, with those windows. It's I think it will means only using this system means only deleting whole UI scripts from Project Bridge and just using those scripts. So mainly having fun with in Unity with hierarchy and inspector, but oh no, I'm using there this old type of areas, this first iteration of my Unity system. I'm not using Windows there because I wrote whole Windows system for Unity, like changing windows and multiple windows on screens with selections. Oh my, it's so painful. Oh god. Oh god. But you know what? I'm done for today. I think I've done what I wanted. It was very talkative stream. We talk a lot. We used a lot of off topics to spend some time. What is left here is just wrapping here wrapping this to UI Manager to make it properly. Then developing those behaviors. Yeah, with only select and deselect. Yeah, sure. With only select, deselect. And that's all. So, thank you very much for your time. I hope you spend a good time with me. If you want, please join Discord. Link is on chat, or if you're watching it on YouTube, it's in the description. Feel free to join us and ask some questions and maybe show what you're doing. See you tomorrow. So on Saturday on 7:30 p.m. Polish time. Have a nice evening and see you soon. Thank you very much and bye.